There's a microphone.
Since I heard I was the recipient of this award, I had so many feelings. Humble feelings, honor feelings, to be put into this position. I want to thank Nick, thank the Committee of Selection. I also want to thank my family. In our house, everything is done as a family. That started years ago at my parents' house when a candidate came to our house, like U.S. Representative Murtha, when he wanted to be in Congress. We did that together. We were kids. We learned at the Italian Club in Northern Cambridge how the process began as the rally was held there this Sunday before every election day. We knew how to pass on literature, put up signs, do things like that. My father, Andrew Andecco, my mother Rose, she was the checker. She had a little box with the phone numbers. My sister and I did signs, did politicking, did what we needed to do. Whatever was needed, we did it. Today I would like to recognize them. My husband, Larry, who now goes out and does all that good stuff. Thank God. He does petitions, he does signs, he is a Johnny on the spot, he is a committee man at Susquehanna with me. My children are all here. Andrea, wait, Alexis, Derek. Derek was also a committee man one time. Why? Because my husband got a job and he could not serve any longer as committee person. So I said, guess what, Derek? You have to be committee man with your mother until we find somebody. And he was committee man for as long as we could keep him. I also want to thank my sister's family for being here. Mary Bender, wait. Her son Steve and her husband Steve and her daughter who had to work would have been here. I want to thank my friend Suzanne, wait. Lifetime friend, who has gone from lifetime friend to being like a sister. I'm going to skip all that. You talked about Ed Cerny Sr., so I won't go into that. I had the privilege, however, of meeting and talking to him several times, and talking to him one-on-one about the community and about his vision for things. And he was an extraordinary person. Yeah. To be the second recipient of the Ed Cerny Sr. Award is breathtaking, because I follow Helen Whiteford, who is also a longtime friend, who went from being a friend to being family. Right? Feeling like, how do you follow that? How do you compare to that? I don't know. But I was selected, and I with honor accept this award. And to be at a legacy dinner in honor of, Representative Murtha, who was an honorable, wonderful, outstanding individual as a person, let alone to be in Washington, always working for Cambria County. And so here I am, the recipient of awards, Ed Cerny Sr., John Murtha, and little old me. Thank you all for coming. I take this award as an honor, and I humbly thank you.
I want to read the award to you all. It's a retired teacher from Northern Cambria School District. Diane spent 35 years teaching second grade. Gifted education and English as a second language. While there, she served 32 years as secretary of her union, Northern Cambria Education Association, and served 6 years as PACE as the Political Action Committee of PSCA. She also served on the Committee for Rowley's Mine Disaster. She was an activist in the group Save Our Schools, involved in issues concerning students, such as cell phones in the schools, suicide awareness and prevention, giving the students the best educational opportunities possible. She spent 30 years as a Democratic committee woman in her district, and 6 years as an elected state committee woman. Presently, she is serving as treasurer of the Teachers Caucus for the Pennsylvania State Democratic Committee and is serving as on the Cambria County Planning Commission. The woman is a master of doing work for our community, and I think it's more than deserved. And her family should stay up and be properly recognized, because if you ask a question, please stand up. Stand up. If you all want to see Diane Wakmunski light up, ask her about her children.
My students, there are 2 students in the room as well, right? And missing in the back.
I'm actually just gonna hold this glass of water because I've lost like 7 of them tonight. So, once again, congratulations to Diane Wakmunski. She is a true inspiration. If you ever need an example of a committee woman, it is Diane. And she did fail to mention her daughter. She also brought Alexis into to volunteer on campaigns. You also interned in, what, you intern in Kurtz's office, right? Yeah, I thought so. Okay, so it's an election year. You know what next year is? Nope, it's an election year. Come on, you should know this, guys. Every year's election year. Every year's an election year. Okay. But we got some big ones this year. Some very, very big ones. And though this part of Pennsylvania might not get as much love as it used to, but every vote matters. And to talk about this a little bit more, I would like to introduce my old friend, also an old friend of Diane Wakmunski, is Diane Gregg. She is the rural director for the Pennsylvania Democratic Party, and she is a great friend to Cambria County.
Can you hear me? Do I need to take this thing out to stand? I extend greetings on behalf of our state chairman, Senator Sharif Street, who can't be at as many of these events as he'd like to be because he has to raise a lot of money. I don't know if you all are aware of the amount of money the Republicans are spending, particularly against our rural officers. I'll let Malcolm and Eugene say more about that, but one sure thing is, if it's worth it to the Republicans to spend multiple millions of dollars to buy these offices, it's worth it to us to win them. So every bit of help we can get our good candidates together. Now, how do we win Pennsylvania? There is no mathematical model by which Democrats can win this state unless we in the T collectively hold the Republicans below 60%. It takes all of us together to hold the Republicans below 60%. And that's a victory. Some counties we only have 25% registration. So every extra vote you get, that's terrific. We'll win this thing if we do the work. And winning could come down to 2 votes a precinct. 2 votes a precinct. Now, who are these people? You know them. You already know who these people are that during the next 2 weeks, we need you to talk to. There are people who haven't decided yet whether or not they're voting. There are people who are tempted to vote for a third party. Remember Jill Stein, Green Party? She cost Hillary the election in the 16. She's the reason we have Trump. Don't let anybody do that. And then there are people who think it's real cute, or they're making a point to write in Mickey Mouse or their third cousin or something like that. Your commissioner will tell you that all that does is tie up time for your elections office, because they have to treat that like it's serious. And these people that are making that kind of a point, they're making a point, but it's not the one they think they're making. Don't let people do these things. So that's how we get an extra 5% more votes than you got in Cambria County in the 20. 5% more. And if we all do that, then we'll win. Now, I don't quite understand how it is that people can still be undecided. I mean, what rock are they living under? Well, they've got some kids, they've got some dependent parents, they've got 2 jobs, they're paying attention to baseball playoffs, they're doing stuff other than us. We're paying attention to this. So there's a way in which we're not normal, so don't project us onto them. So the good news is they don't know anything, and that means a few facts can make all the difference in the world. And you've got a great lineup of speakers here to give you the facts you need to talk them over. A few facts will do it. So the thing I want you to remember more than anything else is what I keep coming back to you and saying, Cambria County. The most important endorsement in this election is yours. Your family, your friends, folks at church, down the fire hall, wherever you hang out, they know you keep up. They know you're out here meeting the candidates, keeping up with the issues, knowing what's going on. If you tell them these are the people to be voted for, they'll believe you. 2 votes. Everybody go get 2 votes. Thank you.
I heard something great yesterday. It's really stuck with me. So, November 5th isn't the day to vote. It's your last day to vote. It's your last day to vote. How many people have voted already? That's what I love to see. So I love to see. So Beth, you already have some in there for you. So I'd like to introduce Beth Farnham. Beth is running against John Joyce in the Pennsylvania 13th. For those who do not know, all of Cambria County is in the 13th district now. I know people still get kind of confused about that. So Beth has come here from Adams County. You think running a statewide campaign is bad? Wow, that's loud, sorry. The 13th district is massive, but thank you very, very much, Beth, for coming. We love that you came out for the dinner. So please welcome Beth Farnham for U.S. Congress.
Cambria County Democrats! Out here showing up! I am honored to be here, and I am not alone. There are so many of you out here. Where are my nasty women? Yeah. Where are my childless cat ladies? Happily married couples? Veterans? Union workers? Teachers? Allies and members of the LGBTQ+ community? Religious people and non-religious people? That's right. And I want to represent all of us. I want to represent us in the 13th Congressional District of Pennsylvania. It would be my honor and pleasure to be able to staff a congressional office in Johnstown. All right. Our district is huge, so I'm going to take you through it. Here we go. Adams, Franklin, Fulton, Bedford, Cambria, Blair, Huntingdon, Mifflin, Juniata, Perry, the western edge of Cumberland County, northwestern corner of Somerset. But we can do this, and we have to do this. If you know nothing else about me, know that I defend our sacred right to vote. This election is big. I also defend our reproductive freedom. Only when we can create the families we choose are we truly free. The healthcare decisions we take to get there are no one else's business. Now, I'm not pussyfooting around. I'm talking access to safe and legal abortion, birth control, gender-affirming care, and IVF. I'm just overwhelmed with how big it is, but as I say, I know I'm not alone. You are with me, you have shown that, you've been tremendous with your postcard campaign. I don't have the very particular number, but by the thousands left in the box, I'm saying you guys, in coordination with those of the other counties, put out 7,000 to 8,000 postcards. Thank you. And you're knocking on doors with the Harris Walls campaign. Let me tell you, a month ago, I ordered, 20,000 pieces of literature. You have blown through it. I had to order more, thousands and thousands more literature, because you are making this happen. Now, I do believe in the right to life of our living, breathing children whose leading cause of death in the United States and Pennsylvania is gun violence. So I'm advocating gun safety, such as safe storage of guns, lost or stolen reporting of guns, universal background checks of all gun sales, and extreme risk protection orders known as red flag laws for those who present a risk of harm to themselves or others. All of these things align with responsible gun ownership. This is what we can have in the United States. Now, I need just a little bit more of your help, because I'd be a fool if I told you that I could only win this election with Democratic and independent votes. I know where we live. People often ask me, Beth, do you know where we live? I really do. I know where we live. But I need those Republican votes. Now, on the up and up side, we're hearing about Republicans expressing more interest and saying that they're going to vote for Harris. And in fact, when I was in Adams County headquarters a few weeks ago, this gentleman came in and he looked around and he said, "I've never been in a place like this before." And I said, "Oh, are you touring Gettysburg?" And he said, "No, I'm local. I'm a Republican." And I said, "Are there more of you?" And he said, "Yes." And he was going to vote for Harris, and let me tell you, I could not put my literature into his hands fast enough. And then our chair emailed us and explained that is an everyday occurrence now in the Adams County Democratic headquarters. Folks, this is happening. So, what I need from you are just a few more things, please. If you can, please put out my signs, because it's not just for all your friends who are also Democrats. It's for your neighbors and friends and family who aren't Democrats. And when you put out that sign, you're showing your confidence in this candidate for this position. So there's that, and there's one other thing. If you feel brave enough, I'm going to need you to hand out literature at the polls, because that's where we really find the Republican voters. We know you all raised your hands because you're doing the mail-in votes, and that's how a lot of Democrats vote. But the Republicans vote at the polls. And if they have literature about Beth Farnham, then perhaps they can make that choice as they look at the literature between your warm hands and smile and the trash cans strategically placed inside the door. I get about 5 seconds of their attention, but I'll take it. So I'll be working with the coordinated campaign about poll greeters. My team is already bundling the literature for any of you to hand out, and I would really appreciate that kind of help. So please continue doing what you're doing. Please, vote if you haven't voted, because when you choose Beth Farnham, you choose reproductive freedom, you choose gun safety, and most of all, you choose democracy. Thank you.
another round of applause. So many of you in this room already know our next candidate. I've known Eugene DePasquale for about 12 years now. I met him at a state committee meeting, imagine that, when I was traveling with Mark Kritz. Eugene has been a dedicated public servant and probably the best auditor general we've ever had until our next one starts. But I'm sure everyone here knows of the Commonwealth Fund, because we've been getting flyers about Frank Burns since December of 2022 against him. And if you don't know, that's Jeffrey Az. He's a billionaire who is for school choice out of Philadelphia. Why does he want school choice, Eugene? Tax cuts. So he can make more money. And he has been spending a shit ton of money against Eugene. So we all need to have his back, but he can tell you more about himself. So please welcome Eugene DePasquale for Attorney General.
Thank you, Nina, and everyone, thank you for being here. This is a tremendous turnout. So appreciate you being here. I just want to give a quick shout out to Erin McClellan. She is in Dauphin County tonight, so Malcolm, myself, and Erin, we're all campaigning as fellow rural office candidates together, so please make sure that you get out and support Erin as well. My name is Eugene DePasquale, and I do want to be your Attorney General, and for 8 years I was honored to be your Auditor General. It was my investigation to find over 3,000 untested rape kits and over 58,000 unanswered phone calls at the child abuse hotline. It was my investigations rooting out corruption in the school district, finding over $2 billion wasted by Harrisburg, and making sure our schools were safer all over Pennsylvania. But I also want you to know about my personal values, because when you're out at the doors, look, and people say, why should I vote for this guy? I think my personal values, along with what I did as Auditor General, or what maybe can help you snag a couple more Republican and independent votes for me. For starters, I know what it's like to see both sides of the criminal justice